All right, everyone. I am so glad that you are here. And I'm excited that you want to learn to grow your business. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and teach for just a little bit, give you some instruction, these three different levers that we have. And then at the very end, we'll do some Q&A. So in the next little bit, you're going to learn the levers that change how you view growth and see how it all kind of works together. So with that, I'm going to jump over to my iPad and draw all this out so that we can just learn together. All right. So we're going to talk about the essential growth factors that you have in your business. Now, I do need to let you know that simplicity always wins, right? There are things that we do that are simple but hard. But most things in life are simple, aren't they? And the older I get, the more I focus on my health, especially since I have two children under the age of 7 at the time of this recording. And we would think that staying fit is simple, right? I mean, don't eat a lot of carbs, exercise, don't eat a lot of sugar, all of that. But the dieting industry is projected to reach $297 billion by 2027. Now, if it's so simple, how is there enormous growth in the industry? But here's the catch. Everyone has unique circumstances. It could be your family history. It could be the lack of time that you have. It could be a lot of different things that just prohibit you from managing your health. And also, we've all tried to resist that decadent dessert, but it's for our birthday after all. And we want to reward ourselves, just that one time, at least I do. You see, the same psychological factor we have for not being able to resist dessert is the same one that keeps us stuck in our business. And you know what I'm talking about, right? This little neurotransmitter right here. Yep. Dopamine. It'll keep us stuck if we don't have these three growth factors in place. And here's the problem. The dopamine neurotransmitter is a hit that we get, but it only lasts an instant. And it keeps us stuck because if we don't have a plan of action or success, we fail. And when we first start most things, we get that dopamine hit. A big client, our business is new and exciting, and we want to continue to grow. But things happen. We have to hire a team. Our business gets a little bit more complicated because there's software, there's more people to manage. The environment that we're competing with is a little bit more competitive. So I want us to talk about today, how do we control these factors? Or how do we not control the factors, but how do we create a plan of success, right? So the goal that we have right here, and I am going to be drawing these things out. That is how I was taught. That is how I operate. So hopefully you can follow along. The goal that we have is that we want to grow our business, but there's usually three obstacles in place. The first one is that we've hit a ceiling, right? We're doing the same thing that we've always done, but it's not working anymore. And let's be honest, it's a little bit disjointed. And our team now, our team over here that we've had to hire is not performing or they're not hitting their goals. And the next problem that we have is SOS. No, I'm not calling for help, but we should. It is shiny object syndrome. So there isn't a process or a system that delivers what we promise our clients and an easy way for our team to be successful. So these are the three problems that we usually run into when we're trying to grow. Now, a bit of a backstory on me. I worked for the largest events company right out of college. They actually hired me before I graduated. And I spent times in various areas where I ended up landing, creating high-performing teams. I was a Six Sigma black belt. But in this instance, I was working with a team stationed in the Middle East. And we had a delivery we had to meet, but the environment was not pretty. You could hear mortars going off close to the base. And I was only there for a week. But when our customer decided we weren't delivering fast enough, even though we were meeting contract deliverables, my team was distracted. And they knew what needed to be done. They knew we had to get our product positioned where it needed to go. But trying to motivate a team is hard when the environment is chaotic. Doesn't matter if you're on a base, doesn't matter if you're in the office on Main Street, it doesn't matter where. So what I had to do is I called a huddle, right? And we revisited why we were there. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought, we've done this before. They know why we're here. We did a brief before. We're only here for a week. It's not that hard. People aren't going to forget. But the environment was just creating such chaos because we were constantly having to respond to fires. So we came back to the basics, right? We wrote it out clearly, simply. The whole team agreed, yes, this is why we're here. Then we identified our obstacles to the new goal that the customer gave us. And we said, okay, like if we need to get this out faster, here are some of the problems that we potentially could have. And we came up with a daily plan of action for measuring what we had been doing and then what we needed to do to get it done faster. And then we went and implemented. We had quick touch points along the way, but meetings kill productivity when they are directionless. And I am not a huge proponent of meeting unless it is a working action-based meeting. Strategy meetings happen, but action-based meetings that are short to the point are key. And what happened? We exceeded the customer's expectations. And the process was simple, but we usually just need a driver to facilitate this process and this change. So let's dive in to how we do that. All right, so you're hitting this ceiling, right, in your business. And the goal is that we want to be increasing our revenue and decreasing our stress, right? And we need to determine the single point of focus, right? So we need to create a target for the team. Clear, simple target. Now, this is something that you are going to, you're going to pull your team in with you and say, all right, what is the clear, simple target? Trust me, put it on a 4th grade, 5th grade level. That is the goal. That is what we need to make our focus, right? And then now, once we have our focus, we can create a map to get there. And I'm doing a little treasure map here. X marks the spot. And we start right here. We are going to create this map to get around to get to where our treasure is, right? The treasure is the goal, obviously. Now that we have a plan, we need to decide what to do with the team. And we want to have alignment. So our team isn't pushing the results, but they are able to, in this instance is a little skier, they are able to flow down to the results. The results are pulling the team. And in order to do that, we need to decide what are the roles and the responsibilities of the team. That is important. And there's the roles and responsibilities of the team, right? And we should not assume. So we need to decide what the roles and responsibilities are, not assume. We need to make sure that the team understands that so there aren't any assumptions. And then once the team understands, okay, what I should be doing, how I should be doing it, roles may have shifted a little bit, then we identify the team and the rocks. And these are the individual targets that align. These are little rocks here, kind of like we're building a strong rock wall. These are the rocks that support and align back to our map. Okay, so now that we've said, okay, this is where we're going, in this first step, we're going to identify where we're going. The next step is saying, okay, who's on board? Do we have the right team in place? Once we have the right team in place, we're going to say, okay, here are the rocks, here are the things that we need to do in order to hit our target back. So you may think that's enough. We can stop here. No, we can't stop here. Because do you remember what we had over here? Shiny object syndrome. And remember that we talked about dopamine, right? We need to get some wins in so that we stay focused. So what we're going to do is we need to create some sprints and adjustments. Sprints and so one thing that I would do is that I would originally, when I was leading teams, I would think, okay, we mapped this perfect process. Now let's just go do implement. Once again, most of us have the attention span of a goldfish. So about 8 seconds. So once a team member leaves the meeting, if they get a text from a family member, if they get a notification, if they get an email about an upset customer, boom, it's gone. We're distracted again. Not unintentionally, but we're distracted again. So we have to have short little wins so that we know that we're hitting the target. We're getting after the ultimate goal. And in order to do that, we're going to have, we're going to create a scorecard. for your team. So this is something that they are going to know exactly when they're hitting, right? So let's say it's Justin, Allie, Susie, Steve. And we're going to say, yeah, you met this one, didn't meet this one. Yes, met this one, didn't meet this one, you know? And we're going to go through what are the right things to track in your business to get you to those goals so that we know when we're hitting them, when we're not hitting them. Now, I do not live in an ideal world. I mean, I love idealistic things, but what we need to do is realize that there will be issues that come up, right? And so instead of avoiding the issues or thinking nothing will go wrong with my plan, we're going to have a place for issue resolution. And that keeps everybody on the same team at the same place so that we can all fix this and be all on board at the same time. That does not mean that you won't have conversations with your team that they may not buy in anymore. So we fix and adjust that piece because usually somebody's poor performance is not a lack of ability, it's a lack of desire to own the goal that's there. So we're going to have a place in here that it'll be part of your tempo, part of your process that you need to have a place of issue resolution so that it's not a griping session, it's not a complaining session. It is something that is valuable and that the team finds valuable so that they know, hey, I can bring this up and we all are back on the same boats. We're all rowing in the same direction to get to that ultimate goal. Now, this whole process is what I do with my consulting clients. And there is not just one map. Every business is different. Back to that, dieting industry example. There's so many products out there because everybody has unique circumstances and the marketing's really good. But there's a process for your business that is unique. So if your business isn't hitting all three of these areas successfully, you're not going to see the business that you know your business can create. And this process is exactly what I do with my consulting clients. So if you want to talk more about this, connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Hannah Johnson. Just send me a DM so that we can determine where your business is in these three factors and decide if you already have a plan, does something need to be adjusted? We're going to do a little audit. If you don't have a plan, how can we get you back on the right track and about how long, would that take for your business? So I thank you so much for your time. I'm excited to see where you guys are going. If nothing else, you literally could take this map that I just gave you, implement it into your business so that you are able to see, okay, what am I hitting? Do I not have assigned roles? Do I not have a scorecard? Do I not have a main focus? Where do I keep getting distracted? I wish you the best success.